All right, so now we're going to implement the functionality to fetch the product. And then because when we fetch the product, we can then display it in these tables and also display like the statistics about the product. We're going to just build everything that belongs on this dashboard in the coming videos. So let's come here and I'm going to come to my file explorer and I'll create two components that will be inside the dashboard. So because they will be inside the dashboard page, they will be inside, I'll create them in the components folder. So that will be components. Aha. So the first one will be the product list, which will be the component that lists out the product. So let me create so here I'll say product list, hit enter, and then I'm just going to create the accompanying file. But to add a bit more structure to this area here, I'm just going to come here and I'll rename this to product instead. Aha. So all the components that have to do with the product and the product management and display and all of that will now go inside of this folder. So here inside this product is where I will now create my product list folder. Aha. All right, so now inside the product list folder, let's go ahead and create a new file, and this will just be the components product list.js, and then just hit enter. Okay, then for this inventory statistics here, we're going to create a product summary, so it will just summarize some things about the product, which is what you see here. So I will just right click on this product and I will say new folder, and then I'll just call it product summary. Aha. So inside of the product summary, I will now create the file itself for this particular one. So product summary .js. So you see the idea, we have a product folder that has components that concerns the product. All right. I also think that it's going to make a lot of sense to bring in the product form inside of these components here. So this component here, now you see the product form is outside. So what we can do is we can just drag it inside of this guy here. So I hope it's not something that will cause some problems when we are working with Git, because Git has a funny way of, anyway, let me just drag it. If it causes any problem, we will just come back to it. So I'll just drag it so that we can have at least some structure. I'll put the product form here, and also you're going to make sure that wherever you reference the product form, which is in the add products page, you need to make sure that the path was also changed. So I'll just go to my add products.js, and we should see here, just check it. VS Code should help us do it automatically, but let's just check. So product form from component, and it did not. So what we need to do is we need to change this path here to say that it will first look inside. In fact, let me just do it again so you see that. So components and then forward slash. Now we have products. Aha. Now if you now look inside of the products folder, you will now see the product form. Then you will now see the product form JS. Okay, so that's what you just need to do. Just make sure you correct that path when you change it. All right, so let me close this guy up and let's come back. So we have a product list and a product summary. For the both of them, they have their own CSS file. So you know what, just go to the repository and grab the CSS file. For me, I'm just going to slot them in here. So which is which? Let me just expand this guy so that I can see. Aha, so product list. So let me drag the product list CSS file and just dump it here. Then also while I'm here, I'll just drag the product summary as well. So product summary, and that is coming right up. The product summary. Aha, good. So we now have the JavaScript and CSS file. Now we have these two components that is going to be on this dashboard page. So maybe I should just create my barebone template here first. Shrink this guy. So here I'll say array FCE, to create my React component, empty component by the way. Hit enter and then it's just create that. Then I'll also do the same for the product summary, RAFCE. So I have both of them here. Now what we want to do is we want to actually start working from the dashboard page to fetch the product first. So I'll just do Ctrl P and I'll go to dashboard, and that's it. Great. So in this dashboard page, there are some things we need to do. First off, let's import everything we need. So first off, I'll come here and I'll import use dispatch. So I'll say use dispatch, which I'm going to import from React Redux. Okay, then I'll create the dispatch variable below this guy, const dispatch, and that's going to be equal to use dispatch. So call that. Great. Then also I'm going to bring in the pieces of state from Redux. But first off, let me bring in is logged in state from the auth slice. So here I'll say, let me first come here and say use selector. So because if I want to select a state, I have to use selector. So use selector. Then Control X. So here I'll bring in the is logged in. So I'll say is logged in. It needs to be const. Let me bring in the select is logged in first. So select is logged in. So I'm bringing it from the auth and the auth slice. Great. So let's remove this guy. So I will now create a variable to point to it. So I'll say const is logged in, and that's going to be equal to use selector, and then I'll just select is logged in. Great. Now the next pieces of states we're going to need will be from the product, but we're going to bring in 4 of them. So instead of bringing them one after the other and having to point to them like this one after the other, I can just bring them in one single line. And let me show you how you can do that. I know I treated that in my React.js course, but anyway, let's just come here. So I'll say const, and then I'll just destructure all the Redux states that I want from the products. Here I'll say is equal to use selector. Now what are we selecting? Well, we want to now inside this use selector, we'll just put our parenthesis here and then give it a state. Then we'll now use the arrow function to point to state dot product, which is the name of that Redux slice, product. So what this means now is that inside this guy here, we can destructure all the properties from our Redux state. So here I can say product. So products, then I'll also bring in the is loading state. Then I'll bring in the is error, and then the message, that's the error message. Okay, so you see with this single line of code I've brought in 4 pieces of state. If I wanted to bring it in with this format here, I would have had to create 4 variables to hold them. All right, so now that we've brought in all of the states and everything we need, let's actually come down here and create a use effect that will fetch the product. So use effect, and this use effect is going to fetch the product when the page loads. So but first off, I want to make sure that the user is logged in. So here I would create an if statement here. Let's just open that up, and I'll say that if the user is logged in, so I'll say if is logged in is equal to true, triple equals to true, then it's only in this condition that I want to get the product. Now I've not imported that function to get the product, but I'll do that. So I'll just dispatch first, and here I'll say get products, and that's going to come from the product slice. So I've imported it now. And that's the first thing I'll do here. Now, if there's any error, well, I don't have any specific thing I want to do except for the fact that in my Redux, I'm throwing a notification with the error, but I also want to be able to just log that error to the console. So here, I'll just say if there is any error, so is error, then I'll just log it to the console. I'll log the error message to the console rather. So log and message. Okay, then let's just add the dependencies that we need. So I'm going to have the is logged in dependency. So if the login status is changed, this will fire. Then is error, then the message, and lastly dispatch. Okay, so personally I don't even think all of the, like dispatch for example, there's absolutely no need of us writing it here, but react is react. So now in this our div here, we're not going to have this dashboard whatever. What I want us to have is the product list component. Anyway, let me just come down here first, and then I'll just reference my product list. Product list st. Aha. So I'm bringing in the product list, and then I'll just close it up. So if I save this file and I'm in the dashboard, technically what will happen is that it will call this function to get the product. What's going on here? Can't resolve card in product. Oh, let me expand this so that I know. Product form. Oh, okay, so the directory for the card has also changed in our product form. You know, we moved it inside another folder. So let me just correct that. Control P and form. That should be in product form. And then I'm just going to get rid of this card, and then I'll auto import it again. So let's auto import. Aha, so you see it just went up a step further. So if you save that now, you see we have everything back. Great. So in this dashboard here, like I said, what I want to do is when I get this product, I want to log it to the console. Okay, so here I'm just going to where can I log it to the console? I guess I'll just log it right here, or no need, I'll just come outside and log it. Log, and then I'll just say product. Okay, now I also need to add this product to the dependency array, so paste that in. And now if I'll expand this guy first, and then I'll just be in the console F12. Aha, so now I'm going to save this dashboard, and let's see what happens if we're going to be able to fetch the product and log it to the console. Aha, so you see we're logging the product to the console, but it's continuously logging the product to the console because of the way we set this stuff up. So what I'm going to do is I'll just remove, but the most important thing is that we can see that we are getting the product. So of course I'll just remove this console.log here, and then I'll just remove this product here as well and save, and that will just stop the whole drama going on in our console. Alright, so now if you open this array, you see that we now have the list of 3 products in the array. Okay, so in the next video what we are going to do is we're now going to get this product and display it in the on the page. Alright, so thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one then.